last.
But these weren't the usual suspects.
We laid the foundations for the beast that has become reality television.
They were accidental heroes.
I look like such a tool.
You wrong, sons.
Let's return to Lakesiders.
Good morning, Lakeside!
TV wannabes beware. Your 15 minutes of fame could lead you to an uncomfortable time in the spotlight. For the cast of the docu-soap Lakesiders, fame came at a price.
She kept saying to me, "You will not be able to walk down the street, Emma. You need to know this because your life is going to change dramatically." And I didn't believe her.
An innocent singing lesson propels shy chanteuse Emma Boundy into the limelight.
She had a beautiful, rich voice, very dark sounding, lovely, lovely female voice. It was beautiful to listen to.
People are going to be today.
And the tempestuous relationship between Martin and his boss Paul hits a very public all-time low.
Just get down. I'll get us down, but...
I think he thought I was macking about, but no, there really was a genuine problem.
Emma's day job was spraying innocent shoppers at the House of Fraser perfume counter. But she had a secret passion.
The way I'm feeling, yeah, you got me feeling really bad. When I was 2, I was like harmonising to songs and just like, you know, just singing all the time, constantly. Always, you know, pretending to be on stage with my hairbrush. The way I'm feeling, yeah, it just don't feel right. I definitely wanted to be a pop star.
And as a teenager, her pop idol was 80s girl Sheena Easton.
I loved her and I wanted to be like her, and she was just so fabulous and I wanted to be her.
But it wasn't talent that Emma lacked, it was confidence.
It's kind of like there's two halves of me. One half of me really wanted to do it, but the other half of me found it really hard.
Yeah, but that...
Maybe some singing lessons would help.
But everybody starts off, I mean, you think of Mariah Carey and all them kind of people, they must have started off with some sort of tuition. It'll give you confidence because you haven't got a lot of confidence in your singing anyway, not really, have you? After we've done this, we'll go in there and get the yellow pages and we'll go through and you're going to phone and you're going to book up today.
I want a lady, I want to have a lady. Do it.
Well, I mean, there's not really any difference, is there? Does it matter if it's a man or a lady?
No, but I just feel better
You feel
if
more
it's a lady.
comfortable.
So look,
That's fair enough. There's got to be a few of them in the book.
I thought if I had a lady, it would be a little older lady, somebody that I'd feel confident with and happy with. I feel sick even now, and I haven't even phoned yet.
Oh, there must be thousands of little old ladies in there.
Singing tuition.
Right, okay. Music teachers. Right. Russian concert pianist. Can you see me doing that? Musical enterprises. Nikki Moore, singing teacher. She, I presume it's a she, improves pitch, power, technique, rock and pop.
Exactly what you're looking for.
So, I'll give her a ring.
Right then, Nikki Moore it is.
Yeah. I've no idea why I wanted it to be a woman rather than a man. I think I was absolutely petrified about going in the first place, and I thought I might feel more comfortable if it was a woman. Don't know why.
Hello, this is Nicky Moore. How can I help you?
It's a man.
Nicky was indeed a man. And what a man he was.
Someone must pay! It has happened a couple of times since. I just thought it was funny. The confusion was quite amusing.
Of course, they were filming at the time, and I was thinking, oh no, it's a man. And I thought, I can't just put the phone down on him just because it's a man. So I continued, and I'm really glad I did now.
Music is my life. It's my hobby, it's my mistress, it's everything. It's all I ever wanted to do in my life. I don't covet fast cars. I do like everyone else does. We all dream of fast cars and things like that. But as long as I can play and sing and work with music in some shape or form, I'm happy.
He could indeed play and sing, and in 1977 appeared on the Old Grey Whistle Test with his band Tiger. Go, Nicky! So, Nicky, where did it all begin?
I went to a school at Exeter Cathedral Chorister School, it was called. And we used to sing in the cathedral every day. And you were given a beautiful musical training from piano to voice. You were given electrocution lessons, that's how to talk proper.
And so, Nicky, where did it all go wrong?
When I got to about 14, I started to not like the classical end of things quite so much because I discovered rhythm and blues.
Nicky favoured the bands with cuddly names like Samson and Mammoth.
Mammoth. It was fat guys getting even, really.
Be afraid, Emma. Be very afraid.
I was nervous about meeting Nicky because I'd never met him before, and I was quite a shy person. To meet somebody new was an issue for me in the first place. I was nervous because I had a camera crew behind me. Oh well, here goes nothing. I was nervous because I knew I'd have to sing in front of Nicky and that he would be judging my voice. So nervous about absolutely everything, really.
As Emma stood trembling at Nicky's door, another duo were facing a showdown of their own. Essex FM disc jockey Martin Day had made a name for himself as the rebellious and outrageous breakfast show presenter.
That bugs me!
Martin!
Yeah?
You were just shouting in that. Why?
Programme controller Paul battled to keep him in line.
Stop shouting!
As they locked horns, their arguments had become the stuff of legend, and viewers loved this warring duo.
You're wanting to have dynamic range.
One of these days, BAM! To the moon!
But their careers were heading for new highs and new lows.
I don't exactly know what he wants.
It all began with a passion close to Martin's heart and a fateful invitation to the boss.
What are you doing today then?
Flying.
You're going flying?
Yeah, come on. Come flying. Just take a bit of the time out. Wouldn't you rather come flying with a proper instructor and everything
I
else?
suppose so, actually. I feel safer. If I'm going to do it, I'd do it with an instructor rather than you on your own.
You just know it's going to go wrong.
Well, no, you know. I trust you doing my breakfast show, but, like, not
Only just.
with my life in your hands.
He always kept trying to invite me up with him and the instructor in the plane, and I always refused because I had a bit of a phobia about these small, light planes.
From the very start, Martin had mischief on his mind.
Today is payback time for Paul Chandler, my boss, for all the hard times he's ever given me sitting in his office with that sort of growly look of his when he's moaning at me for the show, and there's me getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's him moaning. No thanks. Today is payback time. We get him up there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
When I said payback, I think it was just that I would be in control, and he would be at my mercy. Also, the fact that Paul is a control freak, and for him to have to sit there and be at my mercy was just a wonderful feeling. My thinking was, OK, well, what's the risk? No risk, because he's learning to fly. There'll be an instructor there. Not much can go wrong.
But the surprise for both Paul and Martin was that his licence to fly solo had been issued that very day.
I'm going to go flying with an instructor. What it actually means is I'm now your chief pilot, so it's just me and you.
So, like,
Me and you, buddy. It's me, you, Sky, aeroplane.
I'm putting my life in
my hands.
those two hands.
Meanwhile, Emma is about to put herself in the hands of the man from Mammoth.
You must be Emma Boundy. Come in.
Hello, thank you.
Come in. We're over here.
Okay. When Nicky opened the front door, I just thought, oh my God, he's just such a character. But from that, he made me feel so welcome and so comfortable, and he was such a lovely person.
When she walked in, I thought, wow, she's one beautiful girl.
Nice to meet you.
And I remember thinking to myself, God, I hope she can sing. I hope this isn't going to be awful for her.
Well, we better hear your voice first of all, so that I can see how high, how low, how well, how badly. You know the feeling?
Yes.
Are you nervous?
Yes, I'm
Good,
nervous.
I'm nervous too.
I loved him from the off, and I knew that I'd picked the right person, actually. It was almost like it was fate that I, did pick him thinking he was a woman, but he was just brilliant.
Well, let me find a note. Can we try the letter E now, please? That's right. E again, please. Oh, you've got a lovely voice. E again, please. Now, Don't rush. No, don't rush and don't be nervous. Get it into your head.
I'd never done scales before, and it was something that I was dreading for some reason. You know, I've seen people on TV doing all these scales, and it was something I wasn't looking forward to doing.
It's early days. It takes a long time to learn to breathe properly and to get it all working. It's all about balance, about how much breath you use, how much note you have. This is all things which I'll explain in future lessons, but for the time being, we're just going to go through a few things, yeah?
I didn't realise there was so much to singing. For me, it was a natural thing that I'd always done. But I knew, for example, that I had problems with my breathing, that I didn't breathe properly. And that was something that I learned. I mean, the difference from not having any technical knowledge about singing to actually knowing all of that, it's a huge difference.
If I had to live without you, what kind of life would that be?
Her voice was round, beautiful, thick.
Need you in my arms, need you to hold.
It was pure. It didn't have any wouldn't have any bad habits at all, and she could really hold the note well.
How do I ever survive?
Lovely.
Unfortunately, she knew her limitations and stuck to them at first. So that's the trouble with people, is getting them to do things, is making them first of all believe that they can do it. And it's very difficult to do it when you've got a film crew stood there or a camera crew stood there, and she's got to try something out for the first time. So it was a little bit difficult for her.
If you ever leave, baby, you would take away everything good in my life. And tell me now, how do
Nikki could help with her technique, but there was still that terrible shyness.
I want to know?
Yeah, embarrassed looking back at it. But embarrassed looking back at all of it. There isn't anything that I can say, wow, I was good in that. I really enjoyed watching myself. No.
You are good. You've got that. It doesn't make any difference to the size of your head. The fact that you're good, you've still got so much to learn, haven't we all? You just keep working it, keep believing in it, but eat, sleep, and drink what you're doing. You know, really. I know it's hard when you're at work and serving and working with people, but it's worth it. It really is. It's great. It's a great business. Great business. Just watch yourself and believe in yourself. And I know I've said a lot of things, but you go and record a couple of tracks, get the local radio to play them, get yourself notes, even in a local way. No matter how small, no matter how little, it all counts. And beat these people up, make them play it. Camp on their doorstep and say, look, I'm a local singer, you represent the local community, play me.
I don't think Emma was going to ever be a big showgirl and sort of over the top. But I think she had a beauty which you couldn't help but rest your eyes on, and it was quite marvellous to watch.
I think it's brilliant. It's great. Yeah, it's got lots of energy.
Back at the airfield, Paul was about to have his courage put to the test.
I seriously thought I should back out at that point, but because the people from Lakesiders were filming it, I thought, well, you know, they'd gone to a lot of trouble in setting everything up with all the cameras and so on. I thought, well, let's go through with it. Short flight, no problem.
How do you suggest I approach this?
Right, from there. I'll move your seat back and then
yes,
you can move
please
it forward. As... Oh. Look at the wing. It's starting to bend. Oh. Oh. Blimey! Oh!
My idea of a nice flight was sinking back into a leather chair in business class or first class with some champagne. That was my idea of flying, not going up in one of these vulnerable little rickety planes.
What are you doing? Trying to start the damn aeroplane.
Paul could only dream of first-class service. He was now strapped into a one-way flight to hell.
Clear takeoff, left turn out, Foxtrot 7.
Going flying with Martin was definitely an act of complete and utter madness on my part.
Clear takeoff, left turn out, Foxtrot 7.
At first everything was fine. We taxied down the runway. A little bit bumpy and rickety, but it was fine. I was still a bit nervous. We took off and started to gain height. And it was just after we took off that things started to go wrong.
Clear takeoff, left turn, VFR, southwest,
Why am I letting him do this?
That's what I don't like.
Martin is uncharacteristically quiet. There must be a problem.
I'm not messing you around.
Seriously.
I'm not messing you around.
My first reaction is, Martin, you're winding me up. You're getting your own back for me having been nasty to you.
In fact, many people to this very day still believe that I was just having a laugh. And I say, well, if you'd watched it closely, you could see on my face that I was not kidding. There was a genuine problem.
Let's leave Paul and Martin to their fate while we find out whether Emma has the X Factor. Nikki has a mate who runs a recording studio.
This is my dad, Tony.
Tony, nice to meet you. This is a studio. You've never been in one of these before, have you?
The idea is to record a demo to promote her singing.
It was quite a small, sort of intimate studio, but it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And actually, that's when I kind of forgot the cameras were there because I was so involved in what we were doing and enjoying so much what we were doing. It was great.
That's good for it. You're going to sing with me, yeah? Don't worry, you've got lots of time.
I was writing songs with Jerry Rafferty's brother Jim, and we just finished this song, and it just came up as a conversation. They were looking for songs for Emma. And I said, oh, I've just written a song, and I played it, and Emma absolutely adored the song There and Then.
It's a lovely song. When I first heard it, I knew I liked it straight away. So.
Well, even with me murdering it.
Yeah.
Are we ready, Graham? Shall we have a go?
How can I trust in anything that you say? I was wrong from the start. I've been shot through the heart. It's a nightmare they never explain.
Well, the first thing you've got to have is a voice. It doesn't matter if it's not the greatest voice in the world, but the confidence is the big thing that matters more than anything.
Loving you.
Ah, it was lovely. It was great.
On the performance side of things, she definitely needed nurturing. She needed help. But she was a bit like a frightened rabbit in the headlights sometimes, and she froze a bit in her body. You could see her mind was working. She was singing, but she didn't know what to do with herself. So she was a bit gauche in front of the camera.
Remember, this is only rough. This isn't the finished article. You're going to hear things you've done wrong, so don't worry.
You used to say we were the dream ticket. This show would run and run.
I loved the finished song. I loved it. And that was the song that I would have liked to have come out as a single.
Not breathing.
Just something about the rawness of it and the fact that was the beginning, that was the start of it all. So for me, it's special. It'll always be special.
She's never done it before in her life, and she came out with a great demo. I was really proud of her.
But at 1,000 feet, there was certainly no love in the air.
Martin, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We do actually have a slight problem.
And the slight problem? The plane didn't want to fly.
Can we just land it then?
Yeah, we're going to. Okay. South End Tower, Golf Bravo, Oscar Foxtrot Zulu for rejoin.
The plane just wanted to go down, and it really required a bit more pressure than I could give it with these little muscles. So yeah, I was genuinely scared for my life.
We can't trim out.
You've done this on purpose.
Tango Foxtrot is ready to start the runway.
Keep me on heaven.
Can we just go down? We go down.
I remember myself chewing away on my chewing gum, looking very, very frightened. And I really was trying to calm my nerves, but I was quite frightened and realising that my life was in the hands of this wacky, zany, madcap nutter of a DJ.
Because we do actually have a serious problem. I'll get us down, but...
I had to think very clearly of exactly what I had to do and get the plane back on the ground.
We have got so much back pressure there, it's unheard of.
What does that
mean? Trim it out. It means that if I let go, it goes...
Oh, look! Paul's changed colour.
Seriously, Martin, this is
Are you
really
seriously, Boss? Believe me, I'm as serious about it as you are.
One of the other great things about it when it was shown on the TV is that they showed it in conjunction with a fashion show at Lakeside. And the people on the fashion show were coming out to the music of Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On, the Titanic theme. And this was all being intercut with the drama in the plane, and it made for For people who were watching, quite amusing television, but for me, it was absolutely terrifying, I tell you.
The fashion show had everything: dresses, music, fireworks.
I believe Pauline Quirk was doing the voiceover at the time, and she said, "Martin's trying to keep the aeroplane in the air." And then it cut to the fashion show.
No, not the pyros, because she's standing right on it.
She said, "Don't fire the pyrotechnics now, her dress is on it." And I thought, this show's turned into a complete disaster.
Don't worry, look, there's the numbers, there's the runway. We can't even die at this height.
Oh, Martin, don't say something like that when we're coming into land.
Yeehaw, ladies and
Are we
gentlemen.
safe?
Nearly.
Thank goodness we managed to sort of start to land, and it was a great relief to see the red and the green lights of the runway in the distance.
Oh, never again. Never, ever
fun?
again. Yeah, we had fun. We nearly crashed.
Probably got the fire brigade out for us as well.
We are.
And then when we got even closer, I realised that was the fire engines and the ambulances that had been scrambled because they thought we were going to crash.
What's that mean?
That means it's a stall warner. That's fine.
Right.
We are down.
Oh, jeez.
I think it went something like,
"Oh my God, never again. I'm never getting in a plane again with you. Oh God, oh my heart, oh dear."
I think it was something like that.
Oh,
And only on the black bed.
oh, blimey.
Careful, please, don't break anything.
Jeez, I'm shaking.
Time for a cigarette.
Oh, my knees.
It was a great relief to me to be able to get out of that very small cockpit.
10 million viewers had tuned in to watch Paul and Martin's maiden voyage, and the episode made newspaper headlines.
I think I need a stiff drink, certainly. And I can tell you who's going to be buying.
Come on. Buy me a drink.
Drinks on you, right?
No, it's all right. Go.
Strangely, Paul and Martin never flew together again.
Yeah, very few people wanted to fly with me after that for some reason.
Nicky brought harmony to Lakesiders, and Lakesiders brought clients to Nicky.
I thought you were my man.
Lakesiders, the show, was about one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. It made me a household name as far as teaching's concerned.
I'll have a cheeseburger.
Fun people were so nice, and at my age at that time, and everyone being, "Can I have your autograph, please, mister?" It's like, oh, come on, this is great. I loved it.
What's the lyrics? Come on, nice and tall. Ching, ching, ching. Train of fools.
I know it sounds strange, but I love teaching, I love performing, I love writing songs, I love all the things I do. It's just, I have a great life.
My papa said, come on home. My doctor said, take it easy.
Easy. No. We've discussed this. Easy.
People come to me thinking, well, singing's quite easy, isn't it? It's just like musical talking. And you really open their eyes when you first get them to hit the note properly, not slide up to it, not slide into it, just open your mouth and sing the note correctly. And it hooks them. All of a sudden they can see it can be done properly.
My doctor says, take it easy. But my loving is much too strong. Big ending. Chin, chin, chin.
It's a terrible thing. I have all these clients and they're mostly females. And of course my musician friends aren't remotely jealous.
Martin and Paul are safely back in their studio when Emma decides to put her life in their hands. Her demo CD has just come off the press.
I'm not sure if the song's right.
They assess her potential while she waits nervously.
I feel sick.
It was called Loving You, and it was okay. It was a great first effort, but I'm not sure it's something that we would have played on the radio.
But I think, being honest, we thought. I when I first heard the song, I thought it was a bit. I thought I was a bit But that's just me, because I'm thinking of it in terms of what we play on the radio.
I totally respected their point of view, because I knew nothing about it, and they know what people like to listen to, and they know what's good and what's not. So it was important that I listened to what they say, I think.
It was okay. It was all right. I'm not sure Emma was really going to be the next Lily Allen or Celine Dion, as it was back then, of course. But it wasn't bad.
Emma?
The song didn't grab them, but it seems something did.
When you perform on stage, what sort of image do you have? What sort of... Do you go for the long flowing dresses? Do you go for the short skirts? Do you go for the trousers? Oh, you're in! The black numbers. Yahoo! Seriously.
The dog pant. That's what I call it, the dog pant. Yeah, that was interesting. I felt really embarrassed when that was happening. Really embarrassed.
And send us your stuff. I'll give you my card.
Fantastic.
Martin.
Sure.
No, you're not going to write your phone number on the back.
Yeah, she was quite cute in real life, I think. She's quite tall, very leggy, very blonde, very sort of flirty.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the music.
Even if it wasn't what they weren't impressed with it. I don't know, I just felt quite positive about it. I came away feeling it was a good experience to have had.
So, Martin, have the last 9 years mellowed the wild boy of the airwaves? Is your head still in the clouds?
I think there was a time when I enjoyed thrills. I think now, though, I've sort of calmed down a bit, hence the reason I've come away from sports bikes onto something a little slower. So the Harley-Davidson is a much slower, more sort of reserved way of getting from A to B.
These days, the nearest Martin gets to a plane is looking at one.
It cost so many thousands of pounds to actually get that licence. It was a stupid move, really, to let it lapse.
Just when you thought it was safe to get back in a plane, Martin's decided he wants to fly again. It's okay, not in one of those. One of these. The one that brought his boss Paul a step nearer to God.
I don't know if I'd ever get Paul back in an aircraft with me. In fact, I don't even think you'd get him in a 747 on a scheduled holiday now. If he'd like to get back in an aeroplane with me, I'd love to take him back up.
If the opportunity came up in the right circumstances, on the right day, with the perfect plane and the right destination, I definitely 100% wouldn't go flying with him. I'd never, ever go flying with him. In fact, I don't think I've been in one of those little planes since then. It's a little bit of a horror story for me now.
Yeah, we'll take that as a no then.
I'm going to get my licence revalidated and get back up and go on some adventures again with some of my friends.
Next time, we find out if Simon Cowell thinks Emma has the X Factor.
Brilliant voice. It's just a question of matching you up with the right team.
And Paul finally gets his revenge on Martin.
And there's more from the Lakesiders at 7:30 on Friday. Next tonight on BBC Two, Jimmy Docherty's Farming Heroes in the West Country. And further north, BBC Four celebrates Liverpool on the Box.